up, everyone? We are back finally. It is the When We Were Kids Monsters and Toybox Podcast. A lot of stuff has happened in the recent weeks. I had 2 toy shows. That's part of the reason why it's taken so long to do a podcast. I was in Indiana, and then I just did one in Canton. And then, because the one in Indiana was where I got this lovely piece sitting right here for BJ. It's been on his want list I think, since we started doing the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much, because I saw it at one of the first toy houses. Maybe the first toy I ever went to, I saw it at, and I didn't buy it, and then I never saw it again. I haven't
seen one in forever. But my buddy Rob at Route 68 had it, and then I texted BJ and I said, I'll let you know if he wants it. And I didn't even get like 2 feet past Rob's booth, and then BJ texted back and was like, I'll take it. But I was telling him right before we started recording that trash can is probably the nicest one I've seen, because I've had a couple of them over the years, but they're always like scuffed up and everything like that. But that one's like super clean.
Yeah, this is the greatest trash can I'll ever own.
It is.
I mean, not how many trash cans you would care, but yeah. But no, it's sweet. It's in great condition.
But yeah, let's just say funny. Here's a trash can story. Scott, years ago when he was a kid, he said it was the only time he ever saw his mom mad at him. He had a Dukes of Hazzard trash can. She got so mad at him, she kicked it all the way down the hallway and just like pretty much kicked the shit out of it. And she told him that if you ever find another one, she goes, I'll buy it for you as I'm sorry that I kicked the shit out of your trash can. So it was the second time Capsule Toys location. Someone brought in like all this Dukes of Hazzard stuff that was all brand new. And they had the trash can. And I posted a picture of it, and Scott like messaged me instantly. He was like, I need that trash can. My mom said she'd buy me one because she kicked the shit out of mine. And yeah, good luck to ever find it. That trash can is stupid hard to find. It's really hard to find in nice shape. But a lot of those trash cans are like crazy money.
What other ones? Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, what other ones you remember? Did they make? I'm sure there was a bunch.
There's so many. Like they were Shirt Tails, Garfield. I'm just thinking about the ones I've had. I had a G.I. Joe one that I was shocked by how much it was, because it was not the normal G.I. Joe one, but I forget, it had like Gung Ho and someone else on it. Like we sold it in store for like $80, which shocked me because I'm like, no one's gonna ever buy this damn trash can, and then it sold. But yeah, it was a rare G.I. Joe one. The only other ones, because a lot of them were like that shape. The one I remember too that a lot of people had that I always see at shows are those long cylinder ones that's Planet of the Apes. And of course you had the sports teams. Like growing up, I had like a Cleveland Browns one.
Yeah, there was all the sports teams, whatever. I'm sure they did. They had to have done a Ninja Turtles one too.
Oh, they did do a Ninja Turtles one. Yes, they did Ninja Turtles one.
I figured did Ghostbusters have one?
Not that I've seen. I mean, there could be, because there's so much merch that still comes out, and it's just like crazy to see. Master Universe had one. I don't even know, but there's so many trash cans, and it's crazy how some of them are like insane money.
Do you know anybody that just collects trash cans?
No, but I'm sure there's someone out there.
Yeah.
If Scott collects unused vintage Ziploc bags, there has to be someone out there collecting trash cans. I mean, there's people who collect some of the weirdest crap. Like marbles and everything else. Like my friend Pete started buying marbles off Whatnot. I'm like, why are you buying marbles?
Marbles, yeah. I mean, are there that many differences in marbles? Like
I have zero clue.
I thought a marble was a marble, pretty much.
He started off buying marbles because he felt bad for someone on the guy because no one was buying anything, and now he buys marbles. I'm like, what's wrong with you? But anyways, with wrestling. Growing up for me, I grew up in that era of wrestling where watching back, like trying to watch it now, I just can't do it. because
Depends on what it's. Some stuff is fine, like some of the
like Royal Rumbles and stuff like that. Okay, but like the actual matches from back in the day, I'm just like, I can't do this.
It depends. There's still some good ones back then. If you watch like the tag team stuff was always really good. That still holds up. The stuff that doesn't hold up necessarily is once you got out of like after like WrestleMania 3, 4, like that, like it started to get even more cartoon. When it got like ultra cartoony, then it got to be like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like where everybody's gimmick was a profession. Like the early 90s, it started to get bad.
Like Duke the Dumpster Droese,
Yeah.
who now a lot of people don't know this, is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I'll let you go research that for yourself. But then there was like what Nails, Big Boss Man.
Kane was Dr. Isaac Yankem.
Yes, Dr. Isaac Yankem. Who else had some really bad? Oh, Kevin Nash was Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Who else had a really terrible gimmick back then that they? I mean, there was Fake Diesel, Fake Razor.
Yeah, there was. That's when. Yeah, some of the stuff that just
like Red Rooster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of
like
the
at
stuff
that toy show. At the toy show this past weekend, my buddy Ron had a Red Rooster figure, and I'm like, I can't believe they did a classics figure of this. Like, who asked for Red Rooster?
The most memorable thing about the Red Rooster was when Bobby Heenan slapped him on, and like Bobby Heenan, like it was like even he was like this character is so bad. Like he like had such a disgust for it. Like he like actually like hit him hard. Like it was like
that gimmick. I just don't understand it. And like the fact that they made him put that like red tuft.
I was a total rib on him too. And Terry Taylor was a really good wrestler before that too, and NWA and stuff too. And then he got to WWE, and yeah, they gave him that dumbass gimmick, and he was sitting there doing it was so dumb. It was bad. It was nobody liked the Red Rooster.
We're doing a top 5 list today, and it's not wrestling gimmicks, but we need to do a top 5 of our most hated wrestling gimmicks.
Oh, we'll do that one soon too.
So yeah, growing up, like I said, I watched wrestling. I loved it because I loved Ultimate Warrior. Looking back on it now,
his matches are matches are insufferable today.
They're terrible.
He was always so bad, and then you don't realize that until once you start watching wrestling. Like, oh, this guy was awful.
Yeah, it's like, oh, only was he an awful wrestler, he was an awful human being.
Everybody hated wrestling him because he was terrible at it, and he hurt people, and
and like he didn't care. But like I really got into wrestling again when I was in like high school because the Attitude Era and like ECW and stuff like that. And what got me into it was everyone kept talking about DX and like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'll never forget the kid that sat behind me, and I think it was math class, had that Austin shirt that said "Fuck fear, drink beer," but the U was a skull, so they could sell it or whatever. And he wore it to school, and I'm like, and he never got in trouble for wearing it, but yet I would get in trouble for whatever the hell I did. And so that's what I saw that shirt, and I was like, and then everyone was talking about DX and Stone Cold, so that's what got me back into wrestling big time. Was like the Attitude Era, and then I really got into ECW, which I actually my senior year, my junior year, ECW came to town. Packard Music Hall. I was at front row seats. Rob Van Dam had a broken leg, so he wasn't there. I bought a Mike Awesome shirt, and then got home to find out that Mike Awesome debuted on WCW. And I was so mad. I got to see Rhino, Sandman, Super Crazy. I'll never forget. Chris Chetty stood up in front of us, and I like slapped his chest. He was wearing this furry shirt. When you hit it, this stinky mist came off of it. I don't know what the dude sprayed himself with, but my hand stunk. It like lingered in the air. It was so bad. But that was my first live wrestling event I ever went to. First row at ECW at Packard Music Hall.
I saw wrestling. I saw WWF at Packard Music Hall. This would have been 94, maybe. So yeah, Undertaker was there. Yokozuna was there. He sat on Tatanka. Undertaker beat Atom Bomb. I remember that. That was the first one. Yeah, ECW.
Was that during the Atom Bomb heel phase or face phase?
Heel.
Yeah, okay.
It was early on. He'd only been there maybe a year, if that, when he got there, whatever. ECW, I never got into back then, because I don't think I had it on.
It was on TNN.
I don't think we had the channel that carried it. So like you heard about it, whatever, and I've watched it back since. And it was insane, obviously, especially for that time period. But yeah, I've watched a bunch of it since. But yeah, it wasn't on.
When WWE Network first started, they had all the ECW stuff. And when I was at the shop, I'd go back and rewatch it. And still watching it, I'm like, this is like insane. And then you go back and try to watch like old WWE, and you're just like, this is not good.
WWE Network was so good when it first came out, and then they've moved it around so many times. And now
they're jacked it up. And I honestly don't even know where it's at now.
There isn't one anymore. Now I think they're just uploading it all to YouTube now. So like they're slowly like they're putting a bunch of Vault stuff on there, whatever. But like eventually, I think it's just all going to be on you, which is good. But just put everything up that you had before. They're just slow dripping it, like they do. They milk it for everything. But yeah, it'd be cool if it was just all there.
I used to watch
and $10 for all the pay-per-views. Now you got to spend $30 to watch it.
It's on what, ESPN Plus?
Yeah, I have regular ESPN. I have regular cable. I'm thinking, oh, cool, I'll get this with it too. No, it's $30 more. Like, I'm not spending $30 a month on to watch the couple of pay-per-views I watch a year from that. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like WWE, like ECW for me was like the best thing ever for wrestling for me. It had everything I liked about wrestling. It had like the hardcore matches. It had like actual wrestling, ridiculous characters you would never see on WWE programming, like New Jack.
Like watching New Jack was insane. But watching back, I always like when they did the crossovers and they had WWE people come in and just like either how they handled it or how they reacted, because normally it was like this like war, you know what I mean? Like Jerry Lawler ripping on all of them was hilarious. When Cornette went there, it was like Cornette only went once, but his appearance was really, really good too. They just paid him to come and like it was cool when they did one-offs, because I think Jericho was there very, very briefly. That was that was before Stone Cold became really Stone Cold. Like he was there.
He was Stone Cold was there. Jericho was there for a bit, because I think Jericho held the TV title.
He was only there for a couple months, I believe. It was just a really short little thing that he did.
There's a great story about Jericho from his time in ECW. Jericho wasn't getting paid, and he made a comment to Heyman and said, "Hey, listen, you haven't paid me, so I'm not paying for my flight to come there at all. So if you want me at the pay-per-view, he goes, you have to pay for my flight." He goes, "Because I'm not going to do it." I guess Paul got like really upset and offended and said, "Hold on, I'll take care of it." Calls him back, like he said Paul called me back like 20 minutes later and said, "Okay, you have a flight, you're flying through whatever. Just make sure you have your ID and all that stuff with you." So Jericho says he goes to the airport at Heyman, and he's like, "Oh, I have a flight. I got a flight booked for me." And they go, "Oh, we're so sorry for your loss." And da, da, da. He's like, "What the hell?" Because I found out, he goes, Heyman told him that one of my family members died, so they gave me a free flight.
Paul Heyman was like, some of the stories about him and how he would like just scheme people or get people to do stuff, or how he got stuff done. Like, I mean, he was not the most reputable guy back in the day.
Yeah,
but he did whatever he could to get that over, to do whatever.
Like, if you ever watch Beyond the Mat, where they're recording their the promos and stuff like that in his basement while his mom's ironing next to him. And then like hearing the stories about how like, was it the Dudley Boys and Tommy Dreamer were the ones who had to send out all the merch stuff. They handled like the mail-in orders, because this back in the day, people. Friendly reminder: we never had online sales. You had to send in an envelope, with your money to get your stuff. So the Dudley Boys and Tommy Dreamer handled that. Oh my god, Lance Storm and someone else handled something else. Like, it was just so crazy, because like their head referee, I forget what his name was. I signed up for the ECW street team so I could help promote, because they were coming back to Warren again. So I came home from school one day, and the head referee left message on our answering machine. I like had a heart attack. I called my buddy who went with me to ECW, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "You'll never believe who called my house." I'm like the head referee from ECW. He wanted my address so he could mail me flyers for them coming to Warren, so I could pass them out. And then they went under, and then I just threw all the flyers in the fire pit and burned them, which I probably shouldn't have done.
You're right.
God only knows what could have been.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's always like, I haven't watched like WWE, like a whole episode of Raw. I told someone in probably like 10 years.
It's impossible to watch. I've had this discussion a bunch of times because you thought it would be better going to Netflix. It's not. There's more ads on Netflix. It's they break up the program so much that it's hard. It's impossible to watch. I still will watch WWE, like the premium live events, a lot of them. And obviously the main pay-per-views I'll watch because it's wrestling. So it's like, that's fine. Like I can watch all that. That's it. But like, dude, like it's hard to watch 3 hours, whatever. And just literally it's like maybe an hour and 20 minutes of actual programming compared to, and of that, less than half of that's even wrestling. So it's like,
there's
you
so
still
much
it down. It's like a half-hour wrestling in 3 hours.
It's like that episode of South Park where they create their own wrestling federation and all they do is talk.
Yeah.
And when they put actual wrestling, people are like, what the hell's this?
Right.
That's what I feel like WWE is. But as of late, I will admit that this past Monday night, I watched a full episode of Raw only because of Danhausen.
To see the 1 minute of Danhausen. Although, congratulations to Danhausen for signing with WWE. I love that guy because when he first came out, I remember him doing an interview saying like, he wasn't like, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I don't think he was ever like a really like huge, crazy wrestling fan or anything like growing up, whatever. But he got like, his whole idea was that, like this gimmick. And it's like, all right, within the wrestling business, he just treats it like I want to make as much money as I possibly can in the shortest amount of time, whatever. And he's doing it now. He probably got $500,000 to go to WWE.
Like, he was like from what I've heard and what he has told me and stuff like that, he wasn't like the biggest wrestling fan, but he liked wrestling. Yeah. Like I actually just watched an interview with him at a toy store where he talked about how like he wanted a Kane figure and Kane wasn't out yet. So like he showed the figure that his dad bought him and made him a Kane. Like that was always his thing. It was like he liked the characters with the gimmicks. Yeah. And because when he first started, he was called oh my god, it was a Simpsons reference from when Mo was boxing. Oh my god, what was he called?
It was Kid Mo, I remember, was
Kid Gorgeous.
Kid Gorgeous, okay.
That's what it was. Kid Gorgeous. That's what his name was Kid Gorgeous, Donovan Danhausen. Yeah. And he said like no one was taking him seriously. So then he like started trying out that Danhausen gimmick with AIW. So that's where he really got his footing, was with AIW in Cleveland. And he started a group and they were called The Production with Derek Dillinger and Ziggy Heim. And I think there was someone else that was in there too. But that's where he really got his footing with Danhausen. And then during COVID, obviously he couldn't wrestle. Yeah. So then he pretty much went into like just doing YouTube videos. He did those like cooking videos, he did boxing videos, and like that's where I started taking notice of him big time. And I was like I messaged him on like Twitter and I was like, hey, I want you for my toy show. He's like, okay, I'll have to check with Ring of Honor. Then Ring of Honor was like, because they were the way Ring of Honor was doing things, they were filming like 5 weeks worth of shows in like 2 days or whatever. So he's like, oh yeah, we're not recording that weekend, I'd love to do it. And then he did it. Like I will never forget his first time. We had a Goosebumps flyer with him on it, and I sent him like a video of his line or a picture of his line or something like that. I was like, this is your line for the show, just so you know when you get here. He goes, then after he signed, he goes, that was the best signing he's ever had, period. And then slowly he just became like, he was just gaining so much traction. Yeah. Because now he perfected that character of like, being so like dark and mysterious, just being like over the top, freaking hilarious. And like then Davis came along, which was his like his best friend, and basically became like his assistant. And then Camera Boy Nicholas, which someone screwed up and called him Camera Boy Craig.
Mhm.
And like it was on one of his YouTube videos, and he's known for not breaking character. And he had to put his head down or like look away from the camera or something like that because he couldn't stop laughing because the person called him Camera Boy Greg. But like, oh my God, he's so funny. So like when he was on Raw, like, well, first off, his debut.
Well, I saw people talking about the debut and stuff too, and I thought the debut was perfect because like people were booing. They didn't. WWE does not. Like WWE fans don't watch stuff outside of WWE.
Oh, I found that out because I reposted.
Yeah, they do not at all. So nobody knew who he was. Like, I mean, at least 3/4.
We did a commercial.
Didn't know he was.
We did a commercial with him in October when he did the signing at Monsters and Toybox in Austintown. He's like, "Do you want me to do a commercial or something for you?" I'm like, "Oh, that'd be amazing." So he did it where he was like stealing stuff. And then like I posted it. It got like laughs or whatever. I posted it again after his debut. It has more than 1 million views. And I had to make an update to the post saying like Danhausen has nothing to do with this account. This is for our toy shop, my toy shop. And people are still commenting like, "Oh, Danhausen, I love you. You're like my favorite wrestler now." And I'm like, this isn't the Danhausen account.
Yeah, no. So, but he did the debut, and like you saw people like, "Oh, what is this?" And the people are like, "Oh, this negative reaction." I'm like, no, that was perfect. That's what it was. The whole idea was people were supposed to be like, "What the hell is this?"
Exactly.
And then he comes back and it's like, oh, he's gonna get like he's gonna win them over very, very quick. And he's done 2 segments now for like a minute. Both of them have been hilarious. Like people are starting to see like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be really fun.
And so they put his shirt up for sale the night of, what pay-per-view was it even?
Elimination Chamber. Yeah.
Elimination Chamber. I was doing a toy show, so I couldn't watch it. So then I have Elimination Chamber. They posted a shirt. By the time he had that short segment with Dom and Finn and JD McDonough, he became the #1 shirt on their website.
Yeah, no, man, good for him. Congrats to Danhausen. Yeah, he's gonna be hilarious. Like the thing he did with the Miz. If they go on that angle, it's cool. Whatever he does, it's gonna be
whatever
funny.
He does is gold because whatever they used him for in AEW was gold. Everyone loved it. And it's just AEW just really dropped the ball with him.
They do that with everybody. I mean, there's so many people that have come in there that are getting paid to sit at home. They pretty much paid Danhausen to not do anything for over a year.
Like you had Hookhausen. Everyone loved it because everyone loved Hook. Everyone loved Danhausen. And like they were like polar opposites, but it was like comedy gold. Like everything they did with him was awesome. And everything you have him do is great. But then how do you drop the ball with someone that like you literally just have to hand him the ball, let him do his thing, and it's gold. Like how everyone's like, oh, WWE's gonna ruin him. Or then there's the people who are like, I don't know who he is. Why is he on my TV? Well, Monday Night Raw, they showed you why he's on TV and why he should be on TV because he is hilarious. WWE hasn't had it. Yeah, everyone's going to say, oh, but they have R-Truth. Yes, R-Truth is funny. R-Truth is no Danhausen. They have not had a character like that in so long to where he can actually wrestle. And the character itself is just hilarious. Like when he debuted and he gave Michael Cole the jar of teeth, and they looked at Wade Barrett and just goes, "Wade, up yours." Like it's just gonna be so freaking. And everyone's like, "Put him with R-Truth. Put him with R-Truth."
No, you shouldn't because like that. I don't. Not saying they couldn't do something entertaining together, but I think you kind of need to keep those two separate, have their own. Because you don't want to have both comedy guys there. It's better if he's got somebody straight to play off of. 100%, it's going to be better with him just annoying the hell out of people and be like, "What the hell is this kid?" Yeah,
exactly. Like he's just going to be. Yeah, there was a lot of hate for him during his debut, and I'm like,
but that's all going to switch.
Oh,
real quick.
I was like,
If it hasn't already switched, it's going to.
These people were stupid. And like, I love how people were comment on the post too about like, I don't know who he is, but I love him already. This dude has been on Conan O'Brien's podcast, AEW TV, Ring of Honor TV. He's been all over YouTube. He's done Comic Cons and everything else.
But WWE fans, they have such tunnel vision. They don't even watch NXT. Like, so people from NXT go to the main roster and they're like, who the hell's this? And there's like, it's crickets. Yes. Like, and that's within their own brand. So you have like less than half the audience even watches NXT. So if you're outside of that, they have no idea who the hell you are. I mean, it's like, I know people that like when CM Punk came back to WWE, they thought it was his return to wrestling. Meanwhile, he had that whole run in AEW. Yes. It's like they didn't even know. So, it's very sheltered. I don't understand. Like in that brand. So I think it was New York Times or something like that. Did an article on him saying like he is like the internet's favorite wrestler. And like, how did he get so over? For God's sakes, he was on Pro Wrestling Tees. He was constantly in the top 5 for merch all the time. I just don't get the WWE fans and how they have such tunnel vision. And they're like, I never heard of this guy, but I love him now. I'm like, how long have you been living under a rock? I reposted an interview I did with him right before he signed to AEW. This is like 4 years ago. I did it for Web is Jericho, and it was cool because we did the interview and I had him do the whole thing. And I was like, no, do the whole thing in character. Even though it was on the phone and even was written, whatever. Now you read back and you can see, and I have the audio of that still too. I'm going to post it on Youngstown Studio's channel. I'll post the audio of that interview and like, I'm going to make clips out of it just with, different footage and different photos or stills or whatever. But it was great because he did the whole thing in character. He was hilarious. I had such a blast doing that with him. Yeah. He's like the nicest dude ever. In character, out of character. Danhausen's like the nicest dude ever. So many people complained that he was a constant mainstay at Toybox. It's because he draws every time. He constantly has new merch, and he's like the nicest dude ever. Yeah. Like, and if it bothers you that much, don't come to the show. Dude, even I was listening to Jim Cornette's reaction to him. Like, even Cornette, right, who hates everything, extremely critical. The whole segment was just like, yeah, this kid's probably like, this is probably gonna be entertaining and funny. Like, even he was giving him credit and stuff too, and saying like, yeah, he and his co-host both said, yeah, everybody says Danhausen is the nicest person ever. Like even he's not trashing him or anything like that too, because of just his reputation of how nice he is and everything else too. So they want to see him, do well too. So yeah, I'll never forget when there's a local guy who does nothing but run his mouth about me, and he bitched about Danhausen coming back again. And I told Danhausen, and Danhausen said this, I'll never forget. He goes, do me a favor. Record my line, the line of people that are there to meet me. Send it to him and say, go fuck yourself. That's like the meanest thing I've ever heard him say. Like, dude's amazing. I'm so stoked for him. I'm so happy for him. Like, he deserves all the good things. Same thing with like Ethan Page. But like, there's a picture and I cannot find it for the life of me. It's somewhere on my phone. I want it. Find it so I can post it so bad. It's from a Toybox where Ethan Page and Danhausen were at Toybox wearing those old stupid WCW like Dr. Seuss hats. And Danhausen's so happy and Page looks miserable. And I'm like, I have to find this picture because it was like my favorite. I almost turned it into a Toybox card because it was like my favorite picture of them because it was so funny. And I'm gonna probably try to find it again today because every time I look at it, I just laugh so hard. But yeah, Danhausen got me watching stupid WWE again. So thanks a lot, Dan. I mean, Paige got me watching NXT for him, and then they dropped the ball with Starks already. I feel. No, I mean he's still on every episode. I mean he's still there, or whatever. Too. It's hard with WWE though, because people that aren't brought up in that system. They never really get a big. I mean, look at LA Knight. LA Knight's been over for how long, and they're never going to do anything with him because he was an independent guy. He came up on his own. He wasn't one of their homegrown people. So yeah, WWE is really weird about that. So I'm glad that Paige and Starks are there. but yeah, I'm skeptical on if they're ever gonna like get any kind of a big push or anything else like that too, just because WWE just doesn't do it unless you came up through the Performance Center or whatever. So yeah.
But yeah, I'm really waiting for Paige and Danhausen to cross paths again, just so I can hear him say Egon. I'll just die laughing the second I hear it. It's funny because even when I would text him or we talk on the phone or in person, he would still call him Egon. And I just laugh like every time he would do it. But so we did we've been doing these top 5 lists. And this week's top 5 is our favorite movies from when we were kids. So
yeah, we talked about this before we went on air. So the prerequisite for this is not movies that we necessarily got into like as teenagers or whatever. This is like the movies we watched the most when we were like kids, like 12 and under or whatever. Because yeah, like there's a bunch of movies I consider classics and my favorites of all time, but I didn't really get into them. I might have saw them as a younger kid, whatever, but I probably saw a censored version of it, whatever, not the R version, whatever's on TV at the time.
Yeah.
So like those, like I didn't. So there's a whole bunch of movies I love that I didn't really get like super into until after I was older.
I will tell you that pretty much every movie that was on my list, my aunt did this for like every movie. It didn't matter if she liked it or not. When you'd go to her house, there was 3 movies on each VHS tape. She would rent movies and she would record them as she watched them onto the tape. That she'd make labels for them so you know like what 3 movies were on that tape, and they were never in alphabetical order.
Yeah,
heaven forbid that she'd actually do that. But that's where I would mainly watch these, except for the one I'd always watch at home. Actually, I lied. 2 of them I'd always watch at home, but the other ones I was constantly, because I was always hanging out with my cousin Lance in the summers, and we would just watch the same movie like 3 times in a row, and then like go outside and play and do whatever. But so that's what my list is like. They were all on VHS. I had them all. And I watched them all the time. And the one for about good 2-3 months, I had to watch with my son Killian like every night going to bed. And I was like, I really like this movie, but my God, I'm like, how did I watch this so much as a kid? And I'm like, now I'm like, the theme song, the main song for the movie is like burned into my brain. So mine are also not in any particular order.
I did. I went from, I'm counting down from 5 to 1. So
okay.
Like because one and 2 I watched probably I watched so many times as a kid, just so there's over and over and over. Like so, then the other ones I watched a lot as a kid. But yeah, I did.
Let's start with your number 5, and I'll just go down my list.
Well, number 5, I'm wearing the shirt over the top.
I can't believe that was like a favorite movie as a kid.
I watched that we watched that a ton as a kid. Like they reran it. Obviously I didn't see the theater or anything when it came out. I think it came out like 85 or 86, whatever, maybe. So I didn't see it until like later in the 80s, but like, yeah, it was one of those ones that was on TV a lot too, because there wasn't enough in there that they didn't like censor a whole lot of it out. So you actually saw most of that movie, whatever. But yeah, like over the top, whatever. I would watch that with my dad, but they would every time it reran. It's like, they just watching Over the Top again. So yeah, that one was definitely up there.
I didn't watch Over the Top until I got older, and then I noticed like I don't want to see dumb little things about it. Like I just thought it was like the most like, how's this movie about arm wrestling?
It was completely ridiculous, but I remember liking it so much as a kid because all the arm wrestlers were like wrestlers. They were like professional wrestlers, like the way they kind of went. Whatever, everybody was like a character. So yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that has to do with that movie is this will be my. We'll start off with an honorable mention: The Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
In The Wizard, the semi truck that you used to pick up Jenny Lewis is the Hawk Hauling semi.
Is it? All right.
So the one scene you see the door open and it says Hawk Hauling.
Mm-mm.
The next scene that she opens the door, there's a burlap bag hanging over the side, so you can't see that it says Hawk Hauling. But yeah, I used to watch. We'll say that's an honorable mention was The Wizard. I used to watch it all the time because it was like the biggest commercial.
Oh yeah,
for a video game
for Nintendo. Yeah.
And the Power Glove was terrible; it never worked. There's so much bad stuff in that movie, like continuity wise.
Yeah.
Like they'd be driving their truck, there'd be a tree in the back. One scene is full of leaves. The next scene, there's not a single leaf on it. And what Christian Slayer, Bo Brit. Oh, what's his name? Was it Bo Bridges?
So I've seen The Wizard a couple times
Jeff
before.
Bridges, or
I haven't seen The Wizard. I haven't watched that back
Fred Savage
in decades. I mean, but I did see that a handful of times as a kid, though.
And that kid was so annoying. All he said was California constantly.
Yeah.
California. It's like, shut up, we're getting there. Thank God, stop saying it. And then all the video game stuff was always messed up. Like they talked about when they were at the the auto place getting their truck fixed, and he was just talking about how he was playing TMNT. He was about to beat the Barbarian. There's no Barbarian in TMNT. And like they'd say this during Video Armageddon, they talk about the scores and they show the scoreboards and nothing lined up at all. But that movie, I loved it. So that's an honorable mention. But then we go to Wayne's World. Wayne's World was like a pivotal moment for me in my childhood because like I loved the grunge look. And to me, like I didn't watch Saturday Night Live, so I had no clue about Wayne and Garth on Saturday Night Live. So I just saw the movie and I was obsessed with the movie. And I loved the way they looked. And I'm like, I want to look like them. And I was like, of course, my mom's not buying me ripped jeans or any other crap or even a Wayne's World hat. But I got that VHS tape for Christmas from my aunt. I watched that stupid thing so much. I loved it. And it's funny, at the shop the other day, Pam, my employee, was actually just watching Wayne's World 2. And I haven't watched Wayne's World 2 in forever. And it's where Wayne meets Jim Morrison in the desert. I just started laughing. And it like took me back to being a kid again. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I love, so Wayne's World.
That was Wayne's World was one that I think everybody watched a lot when that came out and stuff too. And I mean, if you didn't see it in the theater, you got it as soon as on video, and then you just rewatched it. My number 4, and there's kind of a theme to almost. Now I'm looking at there's 4 out of 5 of these are 4 out of 5 of these are kind of sports movies. So number 4 is Bad News Bears. The original one, obviously, with Walter Matthau, but that
booger eating moron.
Oh my God, that line. Which is it's so funny when you hear that kid say it. And it's like the most racist, hateful line in a movie. Like
it was the little blonde-haired kid, right?
He was Tanner, and he goes, "You call this a team?" He's like, "Oh, we got it on this team for a bunch of Jews, spicks, niggers, pansies, and a booger-eating moron." Like that. He said, "I'm going to have to bleep some of that one. I got to make this clip," but. Oh my God, that still makes me laugh so hard to this day. Like that movie is so funny. Like Morris Buttermaker, the coach is just drunk. Like he's falling over, he passes out, he's throwing on batting practice. They win, and he's got a whole case full of beer in the cooler. They're all drinking beers.
Movie,
Good.
I'll never forget watching that movie for the first time. And I was like, little kids can talk like that?
Oh, it was great. I mean, the way they ripped on each other, and that movie that came out like in the late 70s, I think, is when they came out. But yeah, that's just still a classic to this day. Bad News. The remake was awful, but the original,
it was so funny.
The original is so good. Yeah,
that movie was so like ridiculous. Like that you saying the thing about Walter Matthau. He was great in that movie. And another movie, this just popped in my head, not on my list, but I used to watch Grumpy Old Men so much.
I watched both of those.
Yes.
A ton.
That
was later. I don't think that came out till we were teenagers, probably, right? So it was like mid 90s, I think that probably those came out.
Those movies were great.
I'll still go back and watch the blooper reel of Burgess Meredith just redoing the one-liners over and over again.
I watched that a couple months ago. It's so funny.
It's so good.
Beefy baloney.
He's walking up to the window, and then in the second one where he's talking about the name of the islands in Hawaii, whatever. It's like, come on, I want to lay ya. So good.
Those movies shouldn't have been as funny as they were. But my God, Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau were amazing together.
Yeah, 100%.
And now I'm gonna have to go home and rewatch them. This movie I watched a ton of. I think I watched a ton of it because It never got released to theater because I think the Transformers movie got released to theater and it did so poorly. This one just came straight to VHS or straight to TV. G.I. Joe the movie, the animated movie. I watched that thing so much it wasn't even funny. I was obsessed with Serpentor. Obsessed.
I didn't even think of animated movies for this list. Now I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have honorable mentions at the end of this. Now as you're going,
I watched that G.I. Joe movie so much, and I'll even watch it a couple times a year. But when Killian was younger, I don't know how he became like obsessed with G.I. Joes for like a good 3 or 4 months, and then I told him there was a movie. Every night before he went to bed, we had to watch it. That damn theme song, I'm like. He would not let me skip the theme song. I'm like, please just let me skip the theme song. I'm so sick of hearing it. And so then whenever I hear it, I just get Cobra stuck in my head. And then me and Mike, who's been on the show before, every now and again out of nowhere, we'll just yell, I once was a man. But that was like one of it was literally my go-to animated movie as a kid. I don't know what it was about it. I think it's because stuff actually happened in it, unlike the TV series.
Well, this was on my list, but you saying animated. Just a quick honorable mention. I watched Land Before Time a ton as a little kid too. Like, and I was way into dinosaurs and stuff like that. I just sold you a Littlefoot.
Yeah,
I got the stuff Littlefoot. But yeah, I was way into that as a.
I love that. I love that movie too. I haven't watched it in forever though.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched that. Yeah, since then, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it was like a little kids movie, like even then, whatever. Too,
like,
so yeah,
like I remember one movie I wanted to watch so bad as a kid, but we never got it. My parents would never run it or anything like that. It was Brave Little Toaster.
I watched that a bunch as a little kid too. We had the other show down here. Dino and Dino had the guy the creator of that. They did an interview with the creator.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's on our YouTube channel, whatever too. But yeah, Brave Little Toaster was a good one. I remember watching that a bunch as Yeah,
I always wanted to watch it, but we never got it. But so I said G.I. Joe the movie, and you had
all right, going to my number 3, another sports movie. So we were like my brother and I played baseball growing up. We were like obsessed with baseball, wasn't playing whenever. So Major League, obviously. And even as a kid, I saw the R-rated version or the full whatever because my dad rented it. You know what I mean? So like we'd see it, the rerun, whatever, where they would clean it up, whatever. But oh yeah, we watched the absolute hell out of that. Like, I still was one of my favorite movies of all time. Not even just as a kid. That'd be my top 5.
I really like Major League 2 more than 1.
Oh, I hate Major League 2. That's like Caddyshack 2. It was awful. And Caddyshack would be on this list too, but if we were doing movies of all time, that'd be on there. But I didn't really get way into that. Yeah, I saw it as a little kid, but I didn't you didn't get it at all, whatever. Didn't kind of understand what was going on until you were older. But man, Major League, especially, if you're a Cleveland sports fan like us, the only way anything in Cleveland we're ever going to win.
Yeah, Bob Uecker in those movies. He was like my favorite.
Yeah, Bob Uecker in that first one, whatever, where there's just so many quotable lines. And then when he's sitting there drinking in the booth, just everything everything Bob Uecker did was just wonderful in that.
Yeah. My next one is either going to be, people are going to be like, what the hell's that? It's another animated movie. Mind you, I don't think it was for kids, but me and my cousin watched the hell out of it. I haven't watched it since I was a kid. I'll probably have to try to track it down and watch it. Bebe's Kids.
I remember Bebe's Kids being around. I remember they made a video game for it and shit too. And I never actually watched it.
Oh my God. I would laugh my ass off as a kid watching that stupid movie. Like the baby, we're at one point in time where the baby poops himself and flies just are all around him. And but the one thing I always remember is whenever the kids, because they go to an amusement park, and whenever the kids would come around, people would go, "Oh no, it's Bebe's Kids!" And they'd run away because supposedly, I guess Bebe was a giant slut and her never watched her kids because she was never with her kids in the movie ever.
So all the kids were literally from the same mom.
Yeah.
So just okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Because at the end of the movie, the whole amusement park collapses because of Bebe's Kids because they're so bad. But oh my god, me and my cousin watched that movie so much, and all I remember is the people yelling, "Oh God, Bebe's kids!" And I think the baby says, "We don't die, we multiply." Like the movie was so ridiculous, and I loved it. I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but I wore the hell out of that VHS tape.
All right, my number 2, and again, another theme, man. This is the second, another sports-based movie, and
did you not realize this when you're writing your list?
No, I just went on what I watched the most as a kid. So there's a lot of sports movies, obviously, too, and then another Stallone movie too. So Stallone was big in our household.
Well, we know that Stallone was not in a sports movie, other than Rocky.
Rocky 4 is my number 2. We watched Rocky 4.
Rocky 4,
specifically Rocky 4. Rocky 4, we watched so much because like. Just everything with Drago and the whole it was totally ridiculous. And then also my dad had the soundtrack of that on a cassette. And we listened to it in the car all the time. I still have that cassette. I also own the Rocky 4 soundtrack on every format there is. I have the vinyl. I don't think they made an 8-track, but I have the vinyl, the cassette, and the CD. Rocky 4. My buddy and I actually did, because we were so obsessed with the soundtrack of that movie too, that years ago we were on an AM radio. We had a show back when I was in college, and we did a whole show dedicated to just nominating songs that could have been on the Rocky 4 soundtrack but that weren't. So we just went through this whole giant list of cheesy things. But yeah, Rocky 4 I watched. I mean, so many times. Like it's absurd.
Was it one of those movies that you would watch and hope that the ending was a change?
No, not really. No, because I mean,
you ever had those type of movies?
Yeah, there are those, but Rocky 4 was just because I mean he wins obviously whatever you get, but it was just so ridiculous. Like all the fight scenes where like nobody can block a punch, they just beat the hell, they give each other brain damage the whole time. Something like it was just so absurd and so 80s and just over the top. Like I mean the whole Living in America scene with James Brown playing Apollo to the ring and stuff, then Apollo dies. It just the stupid robot that Paulie has. Like it's just absurd. Yeah, just absurd 80s. Like Rocky. Rocky was on steroids for it, but it was like Rocky on steroids.
Oh my God, I can't believe that made the list.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Another one that I watched a ton. And my girlfriend actually mentioned this movie to me because she used to watch it a ton also, which I thought was crazy. Because I thought me and my cousin were the only ones that were obsessed with this movie growing up, which was Three Ninjas.
I remember Three Ninjas, but I didn't watch it often.
We watched that movie so much the one summer. I think it was I forget what other movie we watched it with.
There was a lot of ninja movies in the 90s.
Oh God, there was
too.
But yeah, it was Rocky, Tum Tum, and Colt. And we watched, oh my God, I don't even know who the hell's in that movie, but we watched it so much.
When we were going through, I'm pretty sure
I think it also had a video game.
I think it did. I think that was one of the I'm pretty sure it's one of the comic book ads we had too. There was ads for the Three Ninjas movie, because they were obviously appealing to kids. We went through the ads, and that was on one of the pages. But
I loved Three Ninjas. It was a point in time when there were so many ninja movies. It was Three Ninjas, Surf Ninjas. Oh my God, there's another one that's Beverly Hills Ninja. I'm sure there's a bunch of other ninja movies that were straight to VHS. That oh my God, the one guy was in 9,000 ninja movies. I can't remember what his name is. It's like Michael Diacomp or something. He's in a bunch of stuff. And there was American Ninja.
Oh yeah,
that point in time in the 90s, ninjas were hot. But yeah, Three Ninjas. All I remember about it is their names, and then they would always, Colt and Tum Tum would sing that song. They made up a song called "Rocky Loves Emily." That's all I remember about it. It's been stuck in my brain since then.
My number 1, and this was not even particularly close, just because of how much I watched this movie and how obsessed I was with this movie as a kid, was Ghostbusters. I mean, I think that
I knew that was gonna make the list.
That's number 1 far and away. Because it was just, I mean, we taped it off a TV. I think I've said this before. We taped it off a TV, so it's funny because when I watched the VHS, you go back and it has all the ads in it from failed sitcoms they were advertising, whatever the hell they did, whatever. But yeah, I was obsessed with Ghostbusters, and then the toys and stuff came out when Real Ghostbusters, the cartoon came out. I was obsessed with that, so I had all the toys and everything else too. But yeah, there was a very lengthy Ghostbusters phase growing up, whatever. But yeah, Ghostbusters won sort of far and away. I don't think. And speaking of which, the actress from like one of the opening scenes just died.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
I can't remember
she just passed
name.
away.
She's the girl in the scene where Peter Venkman is using shocks on the one guy as he's asking them questions, whatever. But yeah, that woman just passed away, I think, in the last couple of days. But yeah, there's just so many classic scenes in that, whatever, too. And I mean, I think everybody, that was such a gigantic movie when we were kids.
It's technically not my number one because, like I said, I didn't put them in any certain order. But I loved watching this movie, and I love the soundtrack. I still love the soundtrack, and I still watch the movie because it's just it's hilarious. Last Action Hero.
A good soundtrack.
So many people shit on that movie, and I don't understand why. It was just not your typical Schwarzenegger movie, which I like. Jingle All the Way almost made the list too, but I just like Last Action Hero way better. It's just such a fun movie, and just hearing AC/DC Big Gun, I love that movie. That and Tom Noonan, who just passed away, he played the Ripper. God, that movie's so good. I love it. It's like, I don't know why whenever I watch it, I have to watch it like in the summertime. Probably because he's driving around in a convertible and it makes me feel like it's summertime. But I love that movie. Love it. And everyone should give it a chance if you haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched that in many years. I'll have to give that another.
It's so fun.
Another go around because
there's so many good one-liners.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I remember then everybody just said, "Oh yeah, the soundtrack's great, but the movie sucks." It was sort of like the general line of everything back then because I think it flopped.
It did.
I think it was a big flop, whatever. But
God, there's so many good one-liners. Like there's a scene where the kid's in the movie, and he goes, what's he say? He says something along the lines of Schwarzenegger, the kid telling Schwarzenegger like where the bad guy is, and Schwarzenegger just says like, "Is that all I got to do is drive around the neighborhood, point at a house, and go, the bad guy's in there?" There's that line. There's where he shoots the ice cream cone in the guy's head and says, "Ice that guy, cone the phrase." What's another good? He's like, "I'm like that famous comedian, Arnold Braunschweiger." And the kid goes, "Schwarzenegger." He's Gesundheit. The movie's so good. It's like the best 90s action movie ever. It has everything you want. It has fight scenes, it has explosions, and it has an awesome car, and it has Schwarzenegger.
Speaking of other Schwarzenegger movies, and this one could be an honorable mention here too, that I watched a ton as a kid. Kindergarten Cop. I probably saw.
Oh my God, that movie was great too.
Yeah, I mean that one still is funny, and I'll still watch it if I catch it here and there. Like
one line from that movie I will never forget is "Stop eating all lunches."
Like the Kindergarten Cop was just ridiculous.
God, I haven't watched that movie in so long.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was one that we watched a bunch too. I'm trying to think other, like there are so many movies that I got into just after being a kid, whatever. Where like when you're a teenager, you start delving into more R movies and stuff like that too. You know what I mean? So
I have an honorable mention. I just thought about. It is not a kids movie, at all. But I'll never forget. It was New Year's Eve. And my aunt and uncle were like, "We're gonna let you watch this movie because it's New Year's Eve." Porky's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not a.
We watched it, and Porky's is hands out like top 5 greatest comedies of all time. To where afterwards, me and my cousin were like, "Oh my God, that movie was hilarious! It was so amazing." And my aunt and uncle were like, "Well, here's Porky's 2 and here's Porky's 3," and we were up all night watching Porky's. Oh God, so good.
That was like how I was with Revenge of the Nerds. Because I saw Revenge of the Nerds as a kid, but you probably saw it on TV, way edited, whatever. But once I was like a teenager, and it was like you watched the full movie and everything else too, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it was like, yeah, it just and And speaking of which, since we last recorded, Robert Carradine passed away.
Yes.
So rest in peace, Robert Carradine. Like that guy, by all accounts, seemed to be like a great dude, and everybody liked him. You know what I mean? Everybody remembers him from obviously all the Nerds movies. He was Lizzie McGuire's dad, I think, later on.
Yes, he was.
He's a bunch of different like sci-fi movies and stuff that he did over the years. Whatever.
I actually just watched an interview with him where he talked about The Laugh.
Oh yeah.
Because The Laugh was based on
the dad did it.
The dad did it in his audition tape.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to have an obnoxious laugh. And they're like, "Oh, just use the dad's." The dad was
he
like,
copied the dad's laugh.
Yeah, the dad was like, "Oh,
dad taught him how to do it." Yeah,
which I thought was cool.
Yeah, man. But that's a shame to see. It's shame to see him go. And a bunch of stuff popped up on my YouTube feed, whatever, like of them at like Comic-Con panels and stuff, and that whole crew together. The other weird thing coming out of Revenge of the Nerds, did you see like the accusations against Poindexter? Like that dude, so he's like he's in jail right now because like there's accusations that he like was like molested kids on the set or whatever, which was like the first anybody to ever put anything whatever. Like I think it's ultimately going to be bullshit. Like it seems like it's BS, like it's whatever, but like he's having to deal with all that right now too, which
like,
is insane.
My whole thing was why all of a sudden did this happen? Like why now come out? Like did they come out after Carradine passed away?
No, it came out before.
Okay,
before he passed away, whatever. But yeah, like all the accusations and stuff were like they were interviewing like these like none of the kids or whatever they're supposedly in the suit didn't actually say that he did it. They're like, yeah, no, he didn't. Like he wasn't that way, whatever. It's like the parent of the kid that's accusing and doing whatever because like I don't know, it was he didn't use the kid enough or they got cut from a role or it was some nonsense like that, whatever. But it's like, oh my god, like yeah, this poor Poindexter. I mean, it's Timothy Busfield's actor's name. But yeah,
okay, yeah, that's so crazy. And the fact that it's the parent suing.
Wouldn't
the kid be suing?
Yeah,
I mean, the kid's probably 40s.
Well, no. It was a movie he directed more recently.
Oh, okay.
In like the last couple of years, because he's a director and stuff.
Okay, I'm so confused. I thought you meant it happened during Revenge of the Nerds.
No,
that's why I was like, why would the? Okay,
no,
that makes sense then.
Yeah. So
man, that went over my head. And I was like, why isn't the kid's suing that? He's gonna be like 40 or 50.
But yeah, and the other thing too about Revenge of the Nerds, which is funny, which everybody sort of discovered when Robert Carradine passed away because everybody went to try to go watch Revenge of the Nerds and you can't stream it anywhere.
Yeah, it's nowhere.
And I'm guessing that's because of the content in it. You know what I mean? Like it's like cancel culture. It's an 80s movie. Like there was 80s movies that were way more over the top and insane than that one. But I'm sure it's because of the scene where he's like in the mask and like he has sex with the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like in mask, whatever. But it's like, it's a happy ending, man. They end up together. Like, what do you want? It worked out for the best. It wasn't like
it's funny how that movie ended like that. Like at the end of Porky's when Pee Wee finally got to sleep with that girl and he got mad because he needed a condom. And he goes, it's too big. And they go, tie a knot in it.
But yeah, like if you're going to go back and start, canceling movies for content, I mean, you might as well just cancel the entire freaking decade.
There's a really good documentary, which who knows where you can even stream it at now. It's called This Movie's Not Yet Rated. And it's about, it came out probably early 2000s, I want to say, but it's about the MPAA and their rating process.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy. Like they gave Boys Don't Cry NC-17 because Hilary Swank pops up and wipes her mouth. That is why they gave that movie an NC-17.
Just for the implication.
Yes. Yeah. But then there's things that happen in other movies and they got rated like PG-13 or whatever. And they'd like hire a private investigator because when you're on the board, you can only be on the board if your child is under the age of 18. Find out that some of these people didn't have kids.
Yeah.
Some of the kids were like in their 30s and stuff like that. There was like, if memory serves me correct, there was no parent or whatever on that board had a kid under the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
or kids at all. But it was a really interesting documentary to watch if you can find it anywhere, because they talked to Matt Stone and Trey Parker about South Park the movie, and they would not tell them why they got NC-17 or whatever it was. They wouldn't tell them what, and they were convinced that they never watched the movie. So they went, and then I think they told them like one of the songs was bad or something like that. So they went through and they redid it. And that's when they did Uncle Fucker. And he goes, so we just made the movie way more offensive.
Yeah.
He goes, then they gave us a rated R. Yeah. They gave us an R rating.
They're not even, probably.
He goes, so they said like in the documentary, like, we're not even sure if they even watched the movie.
Well, it was weird because, I mean, before they had the PG-13 rating, there were a lot of movies that were just rated PG that had nudity and stuff, it was like, oh, this is just PG, and maybe not nudity, but it would have swearing and have like there'd be all kinds of like violence and whatever else too. But it was like the gap between, like, there was like, I can't remember what you had to have for an R rating back then in the 80s, but it had to be like way over whatever the threshold was to get that, or otherwise it was just PG. It was like, all right, well, they didn't put in the PG-13 until much later.
I'm a big documentary person. I will watch documentaries.
Oh, likewise. Yeah,
I just watched a documentary last night about some female boxer. That was like the first female boxer, like pretty much that like make money, and then her husband tried to kill her, and it's on Netflix. It's called Untold something. I watched that last night, and I was like, because they kept interviewing her husband. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's in prison. And as you go on, you find out, yes, because he tried to kill her.
Yeah, the most recent documentary I watched was on the. I told you I got that one app.
What's it called again?
It's called Night Flight.
Night Flight. Okay.
So yeah, I'm guessing that was some sort of British television network or something, whatever. But it's just all horror movies and like rock and metal and punk music, whatever. So there's a bunch of different documentaries on there. But I watched the one on. I think it's not even just on there. I think it's on. I think you can see it on Prime, whatever else too, whatever. But the one on Steve Baders, I hadn't watched that. That came out a handful of years ago. And his connection, obviously, to the area and stuff. So it was cool to see, because I didn't. There was a lot of stuff that happened after the Dead Boys, or whatever, that I didn't necessarily know a whole lot about, that they got into. So, but that one was pretty good. But there's a ton of cool stuff on there. But yeah, check out that app, because my wife and I watched. Cause it's just all terrible horror movies for the most part. But we watched. Did you ever see? Oh, what the hell is it called? Sorority Camp.
I don't think so.
It's this goofy movie about just awful 80s movie, like or no, not Sorority Camp, Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yes.
Sorry, Sleepaway
Camp has hands down one of the best sequels ever. Sleepaway Camp 2.
Well, let's see, that's on there too, because I just watched the first one.
The first one's good. It's like whatever. Obviously, the big surprise at the end. If you haven't seen it yet,
she's a guy.
Yeah. And Felissa Rose, who plays her in the movie, she does conventions like crazy. But Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, Angela is played by Bruce Springsteen's sister, Pamela Springsteen. And Sleepaway Camp 2 is awesome. I love it. It encompasses everything I love about 80s slasher movies. Like, except for the fact she's not a mass killer.
Yeah.
She's just a chick running around killing people. But I love her. And I like growing up, I used to watch Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 like crazy. And I had this weird crush on her. And I don't know why, 'cause she's not like the prettiest girl, but I don't know. There's something about her. And part 2 is probably because it's Bruce Springsteen's sister.
We'll have to watch.
But part 2 is so good because it's so over the top ridiculous.
Well, part 1, it was like I don't even understand. Like even like the storyline, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's just like, okay, like so, like they're picking on this girl the whole time, whatever, and you figure like, okay, yeah, this girl and the cousin are probably killing everybody. That's probably what's going on here because they're getting picked on. But like, I don't understand that could have just been enough that like they were getting picked on and their regrets or whatever. And so they're killing whatever, but like they made her a boy at the end. Why did they have to make her a boy? But then it's like, okay, so she was the boy that survived at the beginning. I get it, but it was like, I don't even think you needed to do that. Like that was like a weird subplot that they did.
It was basically because to really dissect it is because it's the boy and his sister in the lake.
Yeah, which is hilarious to start the movie off.
The sister gets killed. The mom's terribly upset because she lost her daughter. So she turns her son into her daughter.
Yeah.
And then makes her son live as a daughter, as her daughter. That's like the big twist.
The big reveal. But it's like, but get to the end, I don't think they really even needed to do that. Like it could have just been a revenge.
They basically wanted to do it for because every slasher movie has to have some big.
Well, and then she just stands there at the end with her dick and pubes out, and she just has this look on her face. She's looking around. Everybody just freezes, and it just ends on a 5-second clip of just her looking around like this. It's like, well, what the hell? Nothing happens after that.
Yeah.
It's the end of the movie.
There's a thing that talks about the guy who did that. He had to get super drunk, stand there naked, and wear a mask because he said he was so uncomfortable with the fact he had to be naked. He just got shit faced, and they
I'm guessing
the rumor is he passed out or something like that, and they had to wake him up.
I'm guessing they superimposed her head then on him, whatever.
Yeah,
because it was her. I'm like, maybe that's why it's so weird looking. But it's like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, was there a reason for that? Did she need to be a boy?
Crazy thing too is when it came to DVD, they did a special DVD box set of 1, 2, 3.
I didn't realize this movie was such a big deal.
Oh, dude, yeah. So they did 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, 2 and 3 has Pamela Springsteen in it. They were supposed to do part 4. So the DVD box that you would get had the the not complete movie of part 4, which was supposed to be called Return to Sleepaway Camp. They got sued by Red Cross because they had the Red Cross emblem because it was called the Sleepaway Camp Survival Kit.
Mm-hmm.
It had the Red Cross emblem on it. They got sued, so they had to change it. So that one with the Red Cross emblem was going for a couple $100 at one point in time. I don't know what the hell it goes for now, but yeah, Sleepaway Camp's great.
Yeah, that was the first I'd heard of it and watched it.
That's crazy. That's the first you ever heard of it.
Although
such a huge thing.
The one line that I cracked up on too is when they're razzing each other playing baseball and he goes eat shit and die, and the kid runs back and goes eat shit and live. It's like that's so good.
But yeah, it had Isaac Hayes was in it. He was the cook.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that either. But yeah,
fun movie.
Yeah, it was.
I'm telling you, watch part 2. Part 2 is great because it takes every ridiculous thing from any slasher movie. Like you can't have sex, you can't do drugs and stuff like that. And then Angela is actually a girl in it now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to hear they tell the stories of and rumors have it, and this was what happened to Angela, or Angela did this, or Angela did that. Part 2 is one of the greatest sequels ever made for a horror movie.
Yeah,
it blows number 1 out of the water.
I'm sure
it's so funny. It's it has some gore. It has ridiculous deaths. It has probably one of the most grossest deaths. I won't tell you what it was, but it's just flat out gross. And you're just oh God. But it's so much fun.
The first one had a hilarious death scene when the guy gets killed by all the bees. It's wait a minute, how's this guy and he's they go back to him and he's just completely decomposed. I'm wait a minute, bees did that to the guy? What are these bees? This guy couldn't get out of here.
Didn't they kill? I haven't watched part 1 in forever, but don't they kill Isaac Hayes in a boiling pot of water? Or is that someone else?
They killed the one cook in the boiling pot of water, but not him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the pot of water falls off. This is ridiculous.
Yes. But oh my God. But yeah, that's it for us. Go watch Sleepaway Camp 2, everyone. Go find it somewhere. It's amazing. It's a cinematic masterpiece. And now I tried to get Pamela Voorhees for a horror convention years ago, and I guess she does not do anything because now I guess last time I knew she only does photography. And doesn't want to be associated with the movies.
Okay.
Which hurts my feelings because I'd love to meet her.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably leaving a lot of money on the table and not going to these conventions and stuff.
Sleepaway Camp 2 is amazing. It's a cinematic masterpiece. All right, until next time. Thanks everyone for watching, for listening, or whatever you do.